Have you ever wondered what makes a top player better than most? It's not always new deck ideas or grinding matches for experience. It often comes down to many concepts and ideas that are all put together to give a player a larger chance to win. I want to share these concepts and ideas with you. Some are simple to implement, and some are much more complex and secretive. Every short video I put in this playlist will inform you and show you how you can even the playing field between you and the top players. In this video, we are going to talk about understanding card advantage, one of the basic concepts of card game fundamentals. Players often talk about plus and minus. Let's start by understanding this idea. You either create, stay neutral, or lose value when you play a card. Plussing is when you get more value for a card, such as using one card for two. And minusing is losing value for a card, such as you using two cards for one card. Let me elaborate. Let's say we both start with 5 cards, and I summon a monster to attack. When I attack, you use one card to destroy my one card, and now we both have 4 cards. We didn't plus or minus from that play. No advantage or disadvantage was created with this exchange of cards based on value. You can gain simple advantage just by attacking over a monster and not getting stopped. You used your one card to destroy his one card. Everything you do should be for the purpose of gaining card advantage, especially if you're playing a control type deck, with the exception of a different style of gameplay, such as tempo or a specific win condition. Now, let's say you summon 2 cards from your hand and get hit with Torrential Tribute. You lost your 2 cards to my 1 card, so you minus your value by 1 for your play. Basic concepts of card games say that if you have more cards, you will have a better chance of winning. By using these basic calculations of plus and minus, you can see where you're sitting in comparison to your opponent. Let's say I have 5 cards and you have 4. Mathematically speaking, if I use 1 card to kill your 1 card every turn, I will always be at advantage. I have an extra card, so I will always have more choice, and choice is a hidden advantage because it has no mathematical value. If I can choose how to destroy you and you have to defend, it's easier for me to make you play into what I have. Some cards do not create plus or minus, but are neutral, like Sangan. Sangan dies and gets you another monster. You have neither plussed nor minused, but maintained your current value. Having card advantage means you can also deal with monsters or plans you couldn't normally if you were top decking. As an example, if we are both top decking and you draw Chaos Sorcerer, I am most likely not going to be able to have an answer to it with my next draw. But if I have a card or 2 in my hand, what normally would have been a great push for your own advantage would be stopped with me using some of my extra cards on Chaos Sorcerer. You did gain advantage for the Sorcerer play, causing me to spend resources on it, but I'm still in the driver's seat due to the fact that I have more cards that I can spend on removing the Sorcerer. So, how do I come back from a card disadvantage? Well, it's actually difficult. You need to play in a way that bluffs your opponent for more time, or making smart plays or traps for your opponent, or have a few cards in your deck that players must use 2 or more cards to stop. That is why falling behind early is very bad in almost every card game. Even if you have something that takes a few cards used on it to stop, your opponent could have those cards in their deck as well. Now, understanding this concept, you should implement it in your gameplay and look ahead to what your opponent could do or what they might play, and set up traps for them that would net you advantage, like the Torrential Tribute play I mentioned earlier. Certain decks have win conditions and certain decks are alternate win conditions. It's important to gain card advantage, but it's also important to win the game. Always play to get more cards than your opponent and try to trap them. Try to squeeze value out of everything you play, and once you gain a lead, choke them out with your extra cards until they're forced to make a play into you from pressure. This applies to any card game, not just Yu-Gi-Oh! Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching.